So, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Cuatro Cuatro Dos. Once again, this is your boy Christian, and today we have another special guest, another person that we've been trying to put this together for a while now, and finally we're able to set a time and date to talk, to get to get to know each other a little bit. That sounded kind of weird, but to get to know him, and have everybody here, that listens, and the culture in general, just kind of get to hear his version or his story when it comes to soccer and everything that has to do with Houston and soccer and everything like that. So today we have Christian Freyre. Hopefully I said that right.
You said it right,
But
yeah.
how you doing, bro? Do you like
Uh,
to be called Christian? What's
I go by Christian. What's it called? Honestly, everyone calls me CR, and if
CR?
all my
Okay.
friends, yeah, all my friends know me from CR. It's a little high school thing. Also, they just go by the two first letters in my name. But that's sort of from my high school names and all everyone from high school. But it actually traveled on to what I'm doing in music. But that's a whole nother story.
But yeah, we'll get to that one for sure.
Yeah, we'll get to
But
that one.
let's go, start from the beginning because I know you have some Hispanic roots on you, some Colombian roots. But tell me a little bit, about growing, like, you're being a child, growing up in your household. How, what is it composed of? Mom, dad, sisters, brothers,
Yeah.
whatever.
So like the Latin fire is definitely there, and then I saw it in an early age. And I didn't really, like warmed up to it because like I didn't want to ruin the vibe. You If you know me, I am a vibe curator. I'm the guy that's always under control and like sane from the insane. And I'm a joy to talk to. That's what most people say. Um, but yeah, like coming from a Colombian household, um, you know, it's definitely fiery, loud music, and some very starchy food.
There
So
you go.
like
Perfect combination.
I took the what's it called? Yeah, I took all of that in account when I was refereeing. I started refereeing at the age of 14. I saw I just saw the referees that are around my age, and I was just like, okay, I'm 14, I'm ready to be independent, and I'm ready to work. So, but like in the US, you only can work when you're 16. So I was just like, well, great. I think this is the only thing right now. And then it was like super flexible because I would go to school, and in the weekends, I would go to work, and I would pick my hours. So I was just like, okay, then that's perfect. So I went with that. And I started in the what's it called? And I would say the gutter, because you just like a lot of ignorance just over the parent side and the coach's side. And I'm 14 years old, and I had to level up in my mentality so I can control or help the flow of like these adults. So and then also growing up in a Hispanic household, you cannot speak back to adults. So right when I'm getting paid for it, and then I can do it without being punished. I was just like, wait a minute. So that opened about like it opened up a what's called avenue that I want to explore myself, just to explore like humans, like older humans. And then I started getting a new outlook. Is just like, wow, are these guys really adults? Because like the stuff that
Right.
they would say to kids my age, I was 14 and they're 21, well, the 20s and 30s and like 40s and 60s, like they were going after me. And I was just like dumbfounded on how they would treat someone in position if like they had the uh same age of children as what's it called, the children of their kids are playing. They were probably the same age as me, and like they were going after me. And I was just like, I'm just same as your son. Like this is like insane that you would come after me like that. So like seeing society that way definitely changed my outlook when I was a young age. And I just like, you know what, not all adults are adults, and like some of them are stuck in whenever they peaked. So I got that in like a young age, and that really like shaped me as a person.
Funny that you say it, because I have not like a similar story, but like the same thought of like not every adult is, is grown type of idea. And that came from like a little story on my side. It was I was like 13, 14, and I was like, hanging out with a friend or whatever. And then we ended up going to somebody's house, and so my friend had an older brother, and then his older brother had a girlfriend or baby mama. They had a kid together, and then she took us to this place, right? So then, when I got back home, my mom was like, hey, where you been? Like, who do you think you are? Going to all these places, driving yourself, wherever. And I was like, oh, it's okay, mom. This lady, she's taking us. She's responsible. And my mom was like, what makes you think she's responsible? And I was like, well, she has a son, she has a kid. And she's like, oh, that isn't just because they have kids doesn't mean they're responsible. So it kind of ties into that. And at that time it kind of clicked too. Like you can have a bunch of kids, but your mentality can stay at that same level. But let me go dive in a little deeper into that, going into refereeing, because obviously you said maybe it started as a job that maybe you could make money in the weekends. But let me talk to you about soccer. When did you get interested on like in the game? And then when did you decide to maybe I'll play and then do refereeing for like the not passion, because I don't know if referees can be, I mean, this is me because I'm not a referee, but you are, right? But can referees be passionate about, like what they do, and be like, I want to do my job right? I've seen you referee, and you take it serious. So can you tell me a little bit about that, like how you started with soccer, and then how you started, your passion for refereeing?
So I started soccer like, in YMCA, and then it built up, and then I started playing in the streets like in my cul-de-sac. And then I just get more exposed and exposed as the years gone by. So I started out in the street playing soccer, and then at YMCA, and then I got exposed to the park in my neighborhood, and then I got exposed to more talent because I wasn't that athletic, and uh, the athleticism wasn't really taught as a younger age to me. So I was just left in the dark almost. And then I saw that, and I was just like, oh, okay. Like they inspire me to be better, like the guys over there. And then I would just like, well, I would just get more exposed, and then to talent, and then to styles of play, and to what's it called, and then mentality. So like all of that really just like made me super curious about the sport and about like humans. So and then being that I kept going in club, and I just want to get more competitive in club just to see. But I didn't really understand the individual part of it, only the team part of it. So I was a good team player, but not a very good individual player. And then only until like high school I really got into being an individual player, and I started training by myself. And then but I isolated my well in my soccer career or whatever, which wasn't really anything. I see myself being isolated from the team, so I was just like, okay, well, I don't really understand, like I couldn't really put the two, like individualism and the team, together. So I was over just like one-sided, and not very balanced until I think my senior year. I just went like all individualism, and then I just like, all right, if I can shoot about 40 to 30 yards, then I would just have my glory, and that'll be cool. And like I would have that memory of high school. And the funny thing is, about me, and like some of the guys, like the kids that I ref, I mean the guys that I ref, I used to play with them, and they know me as the lazy forward. But I just shoot it 30 to 40 yards out, and then I make like beautiful goals. And I just do the emphasis on that because I am I believe to be in our right brain, or just like more artistic minded. So I'm really my emphasis was just scoring on beautiful goals, and like passing was cool. And But and then like later on, I matured more, and then I went into more of a leadership role. I think, but the leadership came from refereeing. But coming back to being a referee, um, so I only thought as refereeing as just a side job. I'm just like, okay, I make quick money, and then I go to school, and then I go to school and then make quick money, go to school, make quick money, and then I stopped the refereeing job, and then I work in marketing. And actually, and now all that is just integrating itself together. So like I underestimated refereeing a lot because you can go pro and but the thing was in the early age, I was discouraged because they were really super tight with just letting anyone in because it was somewhat of a boys club. And what's it and like don't take my word for it. Take the other guys that really worked hard and they had to change their personalities to do it. I didn't want to change my personality to become a professional referee, so that's why I kind of discouraged myself. I'm not really about the fraternity or the boys club mentality. I'm just like, hey, like I'm me, accept me for me. And that's what I felt like it. And honestly, there's other ideologies that go into refereeing, and sometimes it's not like as a boys club, but like I was just seeing from the outside in, so I was not in the inside looking out, so I didn't get that perspective. But now I have more friends that became pro, and I don't know it's because of the shortage in the US or they're being like not that uptight about it. So, but I believe it's mainly like it's leaning towards the shortage of referees because we
What?
are.
Yeah, in your opinion, as a referee, in a way, what do you think, that is happening? The whole shortage of refereeing, is it because people don't like getting yelled at, or because I always see referees, and I played my whole life, and and you even said referees get the worst of it sometimes, from parents, coaches, even players. Do you think that's probably the reason, or is there anything behind it? I don't know. What do you
Um,
hear from your perspective?
so my perspective is like in the club level, I don't. It's just that the pay per play is in the club level is like super cheap and it's not very. It's super cheap pay for referees. And then if we're in Houston, we're experiencing well right now we're experiencing 100-degree temperatures. And then sometimes back then there was multiple teams. So when I was a kid, I would do 5 games. So that would be 90 minutes per game and 2-hour slots. So what is that shit? Man, that is
That's a
about
lot.
10 hours, 10 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I will make can I disclose that? I will make about
Yeah, whatever you want.
two two that was I think that was 220.
The whole
No, no,
day?
no, 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 that wasn't
Oh,
220. It was about close to 300 because it was five.
fine.
Yeah, so it was close about to 300. And that would be on Sundays, and Saturdays will be a little bit less because it was club. And then but yeah, if you're starting off working in the parks, you don't get fed, and you don't get water, and you're out there in the hot sun while people are critiquing you, and they don't like all they want to do is project their week into like and their week of frustrations into you sometimes. And like if they know their soccer and then they know that the referee did make a mistake, then yeah, go ahead, but they're still human. So like um before 2019, it was a good flow of referees because they thought it was easy money, and like that's part of the job, people screaming at you. Then 2020, big break, and then everyone was like, you know what, maybe this is not for me. I don't like people screaming at me in 100-degree temperatures. And then and honestly, I'm all for that. I don't ref club anymore, and it's sad for the kids because they're not gonna have any refs. They just go scrimmage themselves, and it's not a real game because the parents, and like this is a rant for the parents. The parents like put themselves in the match just so they can get just to get their entertainment. And honestly, like it should be just for the kids. So what they're doing in the MLS next level, they actually have parents sign a waiver and saying they only can cheer for the kids, because the thing is that, you know, either they're causing the team trouble because they're getting in the ref's head, or they're getting in the player's head and not making them individual, or not making bad decisions. Because like, you know, you tell little Johnny or whatever, little Juan, whatever, cualquiera, you know, and then he's like,
Yeah.
just go shoot 40 yards out. Shoot
Yeah.
40 yards out. I'm just like, your muscles has not developed yet to shoot 40 yards out, but you know, your mom said it, so you get a kid, and then what's it called? And then the coach is like, why did you shoot? And he's like, my mom told you. Your mom told. And then he can't say anything. So now
Yeah.
they have waivers. And then I was doing I think MLS next gen, and then one of the kids were like, one of the moms was like, or the dads were like, shoot, shoot, shoot. And then I see the manager coming over. Who told him to shoot? Who told him to shoot? And he's pointing at them like, is that you, Jerry? Do not tell him to shoot.
Damn it, Jerry.
Because yeah, that damn it, Jerry. But the thing is that coaches barely talk, because the game is the test. All right. If they're talking, then their team is in dire need of help. So that's why they'll go, like trainers and managers talk, because they're in dire need of help.
Sure, that
So,
that's a good thought. You know, the whole coaching. You know, you have to, like you said. You know, it's just a test. It's like you already worked in the week. Let's put it to play, and you know, if anything, I'll coach you. You know, a little bit, but it's not like constant yelling of telling what to do to the kids. But let's go into. I want to know some of your stories. Some of the because I know the referees have stories for days. So I don't
oh,
know if you can like catch a few there in your
it
brain
was
and kind of share.
it's so bad. I'll start the earliest one that I remember that just quit, that made me quit on club for sure, for sure.
Really?
It was, I was coming back to 20, I was coming back 2020, and I told myself, I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do any club. And then a U19, a U20 game came to me. It was club, and I was like, all right, U20, it's not gonna be bad. They drive themselves, they're adults.
Yeah.
All right. I go to this U20 game, right? Easy game, And then I see a kid run off the field, and I was like, where are you going? We're in the middle of the second half. He's like, oh, I gotta go get my mom. I was like, what happened to your mom? And then I turn around, all I see is claws going. I was just, are you fucking kidding me? Like, he went to go stop the game to grab his mom, and then what's it called? Another player went to go and grab his other mom.
That's crazy, dude. So
Yeah, so
moms just
like
went at it.
his moms went at it, and then I was just like, are you insane? Like,
That's insane.
I was just like, you're 19, you drive your own car, you don't have to
Yeah.
get
Your
your
mom
mom
shouldn't
to
be
see it.
here. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
mom should be here. Also, it was
Yeah.
2020, and they made a whole spectacle about it.
That's crazy.
Like there was massive amount of the crowd, and I was like, yes, I was like, maybe you guys should socially distance each other a little bit. But no, they're out there, claws and all, two
Jesus
moms.
Christ. Did you
Yeah,
did you ever do any like Sunday leagues? Like your typical,
yeah,
I don't know, Bear Creek or some of
yeah,
these parks that
yeah.
those get crazy.
Yeah, not really. I do
No?
HFA most of the time. Like the crazy ones, I stay away from. But they're higher paying just a little bit. But still, like I do not want to put myself in a
Yeah.
dangerous situation. So that's why I didn't do it. But it's like it's the same thing. These guys are frustrated, like that they can't perform, or that they're frustrated in the day, that they're just gonna let it out on Thursday. Also, first kickoff is at 7 a.m. and like that's how they do it. 7 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m.
Okay.
Oh, no, well, actually it's 12, and then there's a 2, and then there's a 4. All right. And then imagine you're getting there at 7 a.m. on a Sunday. What come on, man. That's just like grown ass men are not gonna go on there on a Sunday. And I see it. Like I go up there on a Sunday, I'm well rested. When I was younger, I wasn't. I was pretty hungover myself. And then I see these guys and they jog a couple minutes and then boom, throw up. I'm just like, Jesus, just forfeit, man. Just forfeit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But let's move well, actually, let's do this. So we both, take part of what is Boat League, nowadays. Before we get into the music part of it, I want to know a little bit about that because it's interesting to me. Anything art I'm interested in, so I want to hear that side of your story. But tell me, your experience with Vote League since we're both in it. But you obviously get to coach it. How did you see it? What was your experience like?
The fine. Would you like to talk about the final or just
If
Bolt and
you
like in
give
how
me
I
like
started
a
in Bolt? How I
yeah,
started
yeah,
my career in Bolt?
exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Give me that, and then you can end up with the final. And how'd you like that?
Okay. I started in Bolt in the second season. What really me and Sebastian had neutral, what's it called? Clients. One of his models was an artist at my studio that I represent. And I was just like, oh, cool. That's like a cool jersey. And then I clicked on the sample of his brand. And then they're launching a league. And then I was just like, oh, I got extra time. I'm gonna shoot this guy a DM. He's like, hey, do you need any referees? And he's like, yeah. And then boom. And then I went with the guy from Night Watch, Kieran Kirby. My bad, Kirby. And then yeah, and we go to Sports Creek, and I go ref my first couple of games, and he told me that I was too strict. And then I was just like, oh, okay, I'll be nicer. And then which really threw off everyone because I already started off this up here, and then now I'm down here, and then so everyone, and then it was like, and then and then everyone, I think until like the second, like in like later in the second season, he was like, hey, you need to tighten up more. I thought you said I was too mean. And then because I
Make up your
was,
mind, dude.
yeah. And but yeah, it was a good experience. What's it called? Um it was back and forth. It was fast, like it was fast games. We had to go in and out, in and out. So like controlling the game and then moving everyone was kind of difficult. Uh, Other than that, yeah, it was pretty, like my first impression was like amazing because I had my first kit. Like they gave me my own kit, and it was by Umbro, and so we had a sponsor, so that made me more like confident in this. And then Sebastian let me go and just rep multiple games. I had a little bit. It was a little bit rough because I didn't know how the tactics of each team and also how they play, and I I quickly figured out which teams are the ones to look at, and you already know I was the one that labeled Night Watch the bad boys, like the Detroit Pistons of the league.
Shout out to
And
Night Watch.
the shout out to Night Watch, man. Those guys are super passionate. Shout out to A League too. I've been refing those guys for a long time, and they shouldn't have told me in the beginning what high school they went to. I'm just like, oh, okay, now I remember where your face is at. And so it was easy. So like right when I knew like the subculture and the culture of where they're from, like where their ethnicity is at, and then where they play at, I'm just like, okay, I know how to ref you. And then most of the time, my refereeing style is very laid back, but referees sometimes they referee sometimes they manage the game, and sometimes they referee the game by the book, and then they add a little bit of personality. And when I say add a little personality, they become an actor. Honestly, like if you want to if you want to be an actor, try refereeing. Because honestly, it's definitely like they want to see what they see in TV. They want the chest out. They want square shoulders, and you're jogging like perfectly. They want the movements. What's it called? You don't point. You point up. Actually, I use this technique because my sister, she used to work at Disney. So every time I point up with my two fingers, it was actually because that's what they do with Disney to direct people. So that's what I use. And it's supposed to be less disrespectful in multiple cultures. So that's why I use it. And then how you speak is supposed to be in international English, because all referees use the universal, what's called universal English, which is English. So like, I would have to say I would say like English words in American accent. But and then they would get it, because that's how the professionals do it. So that's how everyone else is doing. But yeah, most of the time you speak English. And then and then like a little trick for me, if I'm playing with all the Spanish speaking players, I still speak English, just because they don't get on my case, because they see the barrier, and then what's it called? And then they think twice about what they're saying, and then it slows down the game, and they don't say anything at all. I'm just like, great. You don't have to. Don't waste your breath, man. Just breathe while you're running. So yeah, that's a little trip. Yeah, no referee trick. But no, but mostly like referees are actors, honestly.
That's good to know. Good to know. We found out the secrets.
Yeah,
from the players.
Secret.
Now everybody knows.
Yeah, I'm actually the actor. I'm the main event of Volt League.
There you go.
When the credits roll at the end of the Volt League reels and all the live, there's a big picture of me. It says Cristian Freyre, main character.
Right, starring the teams. Yeah, like
starring. What's it called? Co-starring the rest of the team, and then there's me.
So you ref the final. Can you tell me a little bit about the final real quick?
Okay. Yeah. So honestly, both teams were honestly just like good sportsmen. What's called? It did get chippy, but like to start to the end of the whistle, like they know why they were there. They were just there to experience what we're trying to give, what Volt is trying to give these players, these guys, and then just to challenge themselves physically and mentally during the game. The first half was a tad bit fast. I honestly, throughout the game, there was barely any fouls. Like, I believe there was not that much fouls. There's a little chippiness, and there will be fouls, but it's very small fouls. But in the first half, it was a good movement. It was an early goal by AC Juniors, and no one was really frustrated at that time. Always, when I'm doing Volt League, it's very tough because I have broad shoulders, and everyone was trying to hide like just all the trifling fouls around my shoulders. So I always have to check my shoulders, scan the pitch, and who always, I honestly feel like always gets the most of it is that leading striker that's like defending off the center back. And like, I don't know what's happening in his back, like in his back, because especially if it's Hillary, because Hillary got some really broad shoulders. I'm just like, man, you have a whole curtain. Like, I can't, like, you're trying to make me trying to like see behind you, see through you. I'm not Superman, man. So like, it was very tough. So I always had to make sure that I was very wide and had my hips open and my shoulders open, just so I can scan it a little bit better. But all in all, nothing really chippy, except for when I had to talk to Torres and, I don't know, the number 12 for Houston Town. Yeah, just two tall guys, and they were just like really touchy. Yeah, I don't know. It was really, yeah, Luis or something. Yeah, and those guys were really touchy feely with each other, and they were trying to draw fouls. The thing is about soccer, and it's like kind of similar to baseball, not baseball, but basketball. You're able to draw fouls. Like say you go in the corner, and then your back is against the player, and you're the offensive player, and you're just in the corner, just like what's it called, just covering the ball, and then you get a little push from the back, and they push you forward. You're gonna get that 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
So players know that, and they're trying to fish for those fouls. So they're trying to work me, and honestly, like I'll give it to you if it's fair. What's it called? If you're doing too much, you're being like just embellishing it, or that your positioning was just a little bit off of what you're trying to do, then I'm not gonna give it to you. But yeah, if the guys have the best, if the guys know their positioning, then they're gonna get that foul. But most of the time, like JP does a good job for that. He definitely does. He knows how to keep the ball in front of him, and then have that space into him. He does go a little bit low for his own comfort, so he will, like, if he's almost sitting down on a player, he's gonna get sat down.
Yeah.
But in the first half, that was about it. Like on foul wise, it was very fast. If you blink, you miss a ricochet, you miss someone scraped it off. You have a little what's it called, disagreement in the second half. So the first half, it was not that much. It was just a little handsy stuff. Second half, the goals keep on going, and that's where, and then people start getting fatigued just because of the heat. And I wish we had more water for them, or something shaded, because we did start at, I believe, at 7. It was a 7:30 kickoff, but we had to wait
Yeah.
until 80 because of the heat advisory. And the heat advisory, heat does a lot to the human body, and also what's it called? And then the sun is beaming on you. So they were sitting in the heat, and they weren't. I don't think they were. Most honestly, what I observed in my first half, they weren't really, what's it called, circulating, using themselves. Both teams weren't really using themselves. I was just like, okay, like who, someone's gonna give. And it ended up being AC Juniors, like early on, giving away those 2 goals, and with the equalizer. But yeah, the 2 most controversial was at the end of the second half. It was Hillary going off to the left, and JP coming with the slide, and he said that he would did it like a scooping slide. But I'm just like, hey man, if your knee touches that, sadly, and both, that is a slide, and you get a yellow card, and it will be well, actually no, that wasn't the no. So the one act so it was when it was a late hit. I forgot who hit Hillary, but it was a late hit, and then Hillary saved the ball, and then after that, someone got the trailing leg of Hillary, and then you can hear the smack from the other side of the pitch, and I was just like, okay, that's a foul. You got to be better than that. And then so I set it up. Everyone was just like livid. I was like, I got the ball first, and then I was just like, you still got the player. I'm sorry. And it was super late, and so everyone was bickering, and they wanted to go for the fast play. They went for the fast play, open guy, and I think it was Derek that shot it, and it was wide open. And they feel like it was my fault, and me, in my head, I didn't really process it right, and I was just like, okay, what's it called, like, I, as a referee, you never want to have the foul or the PK that decides the game. You just want the game to go by itself. Like you said before, the referee should not even like be there, like some of these referees, they try to be a big personality and really affect the game. You're not supposed to affect the game at all. You're just supposed to be there and make sure it's fair. Or if it's like a really good game, and the kids know, and then the guys know what they're doing, then you're just like not making that much fouls at all, and you're just like there, But that's in the perfect world, and we don't live in a perfect world.
Exactly.
So yeah, but like these referees with big egos, I'm you know, they're not getting any favoritism, you know. But you know, sometimes you have to do it, and that's their ideology on refereeing. But and then the second one, the second controversial call that I made, was another corner kick. It was a retake of a corner kick. Well, how I saw it, it was I think it was Sevilla crosses over to Christie. Christie tries to knock it into the goal. It skips off one of the center backs' knee, and it was happening in fast motion. So all I saw was down, and I just saw the ball hit, and I saw it just skipped on his knee, and then everyone was up in arms. I was like, "No, ref!" He's like, he was like, they were saying, he's like, "Physics makes it go that way." And then I was like, if it skims off you, you know, it's gonna still go that way, because it's only a small part of you that hits it, and it's still the force will still go that way. So it's honestly like, I had to teach, I have to explain physics to some of these players, especially like when players make challenges and they have inertia like behind them, and they have a momentum behind them, and I'm just like, hey, this guy's gonna go fast. Either if you touch him, he will trip, or if you get in front of him, he will lay into you. Okay, he would have to jump over you, and you know, I don't know how acrobatic these guys are, but you know, there is a risk factor. And what that's another thing, people don't know the risk factor of playing soccer, and they believe that I have the force to stop everything. And he's like, ref, you didn't give this card, and when you didn't give this card, this guy, you could have stopped this. You could have stopped this. And now I'm just like, you are humans and you are adults. I can't stop. And what's it called? My language, sorry for my language, shit. I can't stop shit, okay? Your mind, I'm not playing puppets. I'm not puppets with these humans, okay? I tried my best, okay? I'm not Superman or Batman beating the crap out of someone just for little things, you know. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, it skimped off his leg, and he didn't believe it skimped off his leg. And then after that, they scored, and it was and then we went to PKs. Honestly, I felt like if anyone had doubts about the first foul that lead to a goal, that one kind of auto-correct itself in some way, not to cover my own ass, just because that's what I saw. And I don't have another referee. Most of the time I work in teams, and that's what, like, a little bit easier, so you can have someone to communicate with. If I'm going by myself, I go, well, what I see, and that's what I saw, and I can't unsee it. So, you know, and that's what happened. And it was and then we went to PKs, and then it was decided at PKs. And honestly, everyone had fun. Everyone had fun, and they had a good experience. They were shaking hands after that. They were AC Juniors was just a little bit disappointed, and I feel like that disappointment was in themselves. They were fighting each other in the second half, so like that's a good indication that, you know, it's not gonna be a good end for AC Juniors. So, you know, and that's what happened in penalties. You know, it was heartbreaking, but you know, it's good for those guys. So it was good. It was a good game, good exercise, good experience. Everyone's had fun at the end. They shook hands. No one had that much bad feelings. I got a couple of texts after and DMs about, he's like, hey, what's it called? You actually did a good game. I was just disappointed in myself. And yeah, it was good. It's good. Good final.
And you mentioned about, you know, reffing in teams. Obviously, Vold League season 4 is going to be 11v11. Are you going to ref in that one? And if you are you excited that you'll be able to have some help?
I'll be refereeing. I'll probably do the finals. I'll probably be the fourth official. Just so, because I know the teams the most, and I would like to have. I don't want to be reffing the teams often. I want to have just like a rotating door of referees.
Gotcha.
So everyone has someone new, and it's like refreshing. But I would like to be just the fourth official, just make sure that everyone's okay. But what I'm really excited for, like the team is fine. Like having a fourth official is like amazing. Because if you have rowdy guys that you're gonna be focused on the game and not on the bench, and then
Yeah.
so you have someone to organize the bench. But also, what I'm really excited about and what we're bringing into season 4 is the communication. So we're actually gonna have a headsets, and reffing with headsets. It's honestly the best thing ever. Like
Really?
it's you don't miss anything, especially with the pace that what I'm seeing right now. You won't miss anything. If it was like the pro, then like you will maybe miss something, but they have headsets, and then they have VAR, and the
Yeah.
guys are watching on television, so it just makes the job way easier. Also, if the game's not that, I honestly, so some games I get bored, okay, and it's not that enthusing, so I'll just like, hey, I'll talk to the guys on the side, and then about just like tactics and stuff, just to be enthused. So when the game keeps, so I can have the same energy all throughout the game, because sometimes like I'll get discouraged about all my runs, just because the game is kind of boring, and it's a bad habit that I want to get out of. So, but yeah,
Go. Now you get to try it out, put it to
yeah,
work. But that's good, man. I'm glad. Well, I'm glad that you'll be there and you'll get to experience that, and hopefully you'll have fun. But let's go ahead and move on out of the sport, out of soccer, because you talked about your music. I don't know if what kind of music, if you sing, if you make music or whatever. But tell me about that. When did you start getting into that, and how has that progressed to whatever you're doing now?
so what I do, so I specialize in marketing and art and entertainment. I started out interning at a music studio out in West Houston. It was like the other side of Memorial City. It was called man, what was it called?
Switch House
The
Records. No, I'm just kidding.
Celebrity Studios, yeah.
Yeah.
It was called Celebrity Studios and Celebrity Sound Studios. And I was lucky enough to get what's it called, internship there. And then I started looking into music, and I thought it was like super fun. And during like my college years, I just honestly just want to get a job. So I was just like, okay, whatever, whatever I get paid for, whatever gives me the experience. So I didn't really see that much in the internship. I just thought it was a cool job. And then and then I graduated, and then I started getting out in the world. And I got my first job in Rice Village for a retail store. And then once I was doing the retail, I was seeing myself doing more of the artistic side of it. So or the psychological side of it. So I would do some of the interior design, and then I would design like the flyers, the the graphic design of the social media. And then I did the sets of like where they're gonna take the pictures. So it's like set producing. And then I created the menu, just like the menu layout. And I really enjoyed that. But all the other stuff, not really. Like most of the like the harder, not the harder stuff, just the more technical side of just like collecting data. I didn't really felt like my niche. So I see myself just going in more in art. And after a while of just like hit and misses, hit and misses, hit and misses, I landed a job in Miami for a marketing consultancy. But the only jobs that I actually liked in that consultancy was the art jobs. And now with creative, now that I met Sebastian and we're trying to make well, now that we have creative football, I see myself going more into art. And I was already, and then but before that, in 2019, My guys at the studio, um, they branched off into their own studio because it was just leadership issues. And so I would help them market themselves only through networking, not really that much and and like in their business. And then I would just keep on going out and out and out. And then around, and I think 2021, I went to go talk to my mentor, which is my cousin out in Miami, and he persuaded me to follow my dream and become an DJ. So
Yeah,
here I am.
there you go.
Yeah. So I
That's
have
tight.
I'm yeah. So I'm one of two. I do tropical Latin music, and I have a producer and I DJ. And then
Nice.
now the guys at the studio produce EDM, and they're gonna DJ too, and we have a manager. So that's what we're doing right now. Yeah, with
Yeah.
the music. But music was art was always there, and I always had like I always what's it called, gravitate to the art, but I didn't know for sure. I was still lost, like most young adults, and like what to do and what I actually like. And then I just see myself just going more into art and art, and then until I find myself into this role that I can finally showcase art as how I want to do it. So that's how I believe.
So
And then um my psychology of a career is to showcase art to inspire people just to be a little bit better, because you can touch more people in a room if you had a speaker of music, and then just the vibe is right, um with just music. And that, I think that's the best channel or the best medium of art to inspire just like good vibes and people to relax and just to have that little bit of dopamine in their heads.
that's time, man.
So yeah.
I like that. I think me and you are, we have similar trains of thoughts. I really like that. I like the
Yeah.
fact, like the whole, like using your gifts and skills to help others, maybe get to know their own gifts and skills, like it's not like a selfish thing. It's like, oh, I like this, I'm gonna do this because it's for me, but it's like I want to give this to other people. So that's pretty dope. That's tight,
Yeah.
man.
So that's why me and you are in the entertainment business.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah.
right.
And I'll
So
bet I'll be soon be sorry to cut you off.
no,
I'll be soon be coaching, so I can now, you know, mentor more of the people, because I see now myself, while I'm refereeing. So the thing is that um so like going back to, if referees actually have a passion in refereeing, they do have a passion in refereeing. They have a passion of like what is right and what is wrong and what is a good job and what is a bad job. It's very like a very prideful job, and they take pride of like, sometimes it's just the approval of the teams that they're doing a good job, or it's just them that knows what's right and what's wrong. And there's some guys that are real sticklers about it, and there's just guys that are real loose and just want to have everyone have fun. I'm one of those guys that is like, everyone just have fun, but I know what right and wrong is through logic. And if people are trying to play some games or whatever, just like psychological games, and that's my bread and butter, man. Like that's my favorite genre of movies, psychological thrillers.
there you go.
Yeah.
So if you like psychological thrillers, then you should become a referee.
Yep.
Right, there you go. So just a quick question. Are you guys looking for referees? Maybe, I don't know if anybody's listening to this that is a referee. Are you, do you need referees for season 4, or how does that work?
I definitely need referees for season 4. I need some young, fast guys. All right. You know, most of the guys are getting older, and like that's why I couldn't really get that much guys out here. And also, well, now what's it called? Now we have more prestige in our league, so like more guys are gonna come out, and the timing is perfect because no Sunday. Well, it, our kickoffs were on Sunday, and it was late Sunday. And honestly, that's like the best time for referees and just honestly any adult, because they've been hung over what's called Sunday morning. They're not gonna get up Sunday morning. So like that late night Sunday is perfect. So they can go recover, drink Pedialyte, and then go out and ref, make a good couple bucks on Sundays. But yeah, it's the timing's perfect for referees. It's just that I need new ones, and I need younger ones and like faster ones, because either they're not pushing. I don't believe that they're pushing them upstream enough, or like the kids don't even know about it. So I just want to spread the word about kids trying to get more of a feel of like the professionalism of being a referee, and then the psychology of being a referee, and what's it called, what you should tolerate from what's it called, teams, and also in pay, so just make sure that they're getting treated as good as possible.
True. And on the music side, when can we start seeing some Christian tunes out there, or
Oh yeah. Also,
like,
actually, my DJ name is actually, my name's Don, and then my producer name is Zilla, and together we're Donzilla.
all right.
So yeah, and hopefully we will drop an EP at the end of the summer. But producing wise, like it's tough because this guy's a purist. But Don
That's good.
Yeah, but Pure Cycles Dawn is now streaming on all platforms.
There you go.
Pure Cycles Dawn
We'll
EP.
put it out there. We'll put it out
Yeah,
there. We'll blow it up. That's what's
thank you.
up, man. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you taking some time. I know we had some struggles to get you on the show, but is there anything you wanna you just promoted yourself, but you wanna
Yeah.
say where can the people find you, where can talk to Cristian and pick your brain if they have to, or sign up to be a referee, listen to your music. Let us know.
Okay.
Where can we find you?
I'll plug myself in. So first of all, find me, what's it called? If you want more psychology in the game of soccer, find me at Cuatro Cuatro Dos. I'll be here often. I'll be at Vault too. I do a little commentating with Cristian and Cristian, the two Robbies, something like that. What's it called? Yeah, but we do need more referees. You can go to the website. It's US Soccer Learning Center, and it's all online. I believe it's only like to be a grassroots referee, it's only about $75, and then to be regional, so that will be state. I think it's like $25 more to $30 more. Please come and just collect some easy money. And honestly, there's one thing that I'm going to tell you guys about refereeing. You can show up to a game and just show up, and then you will actually just get paid and just leave, because some of these guys don't even show up to games. They forfeit. So I will wake up at 7 a.m. just to collect money and then go back to sleep.
There you go.
And so that's another benefit in refereeing. And already expressing myself. So Dawn, it is on every stream service: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. I think we're not. Oh no, we're not on. We're not on SoundCloud. And then we're dropping singles every month, but the EP is already out there. It's amazing. If anyone likes house music. And last thing I want to say to you is that it's mostly sport is to inspire yourself, to push yourself, so sport is it's this competition that you put yourself, you project yourself on the other person. If you're a real competitor, then you're just like, I want to beat this team, but most of the time you're beating yourself, or you're maintaining yourself, so you project yourself onto the other team, and that's a focal point to push yourself. If you were to think about that, then like the sky's the limit, because like once you know that you're just pushing yourself and not really like telling this other team like, it's like something personal, or like your ego just gets ahead of you, then that's how you become a better person through sport. It's just sport is just pushing yourself, but projecting it on the other side of the opposition. And that's all I want to say.
That Hey man, once again, bro, I appreciate, your time to, taking the time to come over here and talk about your story, talk about, the way you think, the way some referees see the game. And obviously, you have a great story. So I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, man, everybody, don't forget, go to 442. You can check out there, all the content on YouTube, or you can just listen to the podcast. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. See you guys later.
See you
Bye.
next.